Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Chantele. So let's rank this week's players of Survivor Season 34.
Yes, let's talk gameplay. But first, if you're new to this channel, please click subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Yay! Hello, everybody. So bad news is, I know I told you Mike Bloom was going to be here with us today, but he unfortunately had a family thing. He needed to back out. It was this afternoon. So it's just Chantele and I.
Sorry,
holding down the fort. hope we're not too disappointed.
Holding down the palm frond.
Oh, where's my palm frond blanket?
Scratchy palm frond blanket.
Does Gabler lose a dice for putting a palm frond on you while you're sleeping?
Yes.
'Tis a question. Danny's not here to stick up for him. Hello, everybody trickling in. Hello. Yay. Oh, good. Robin's not disappointed. Thank you very much. Yes. Okay. So we have one less person. I gotta say, Lindsay, who obviously we're not going to talk about today because she's gone, we barely talked about because she didn't show up in the edit until now.
I'm actually really disappointed because we don't get that much Aquarius representation on any of our reality shows. Like, it just doesn't usually happen. And I think it's because the people that are in like casting and the production side of things are like Virgos and Tauruses. You know what I mean? Like, so
Probably,
they're going to be bringing on people that they get along with and like they click. And so Aquarius can come across as maybe aloof, or just like people might not be able to engage with him necessarily, like in that kind of process, is my just opinion, because we never see them. It's like, oh my god, there's one Aquarius, like wow, so there's like 2 this season. I was like, okay, come on, Lindsay, do it for us Aquarius people that really want to be on the show, please.
And to be clear, if anyone doesn't know, you are an Aquarius. You are speaking as an Aquarius.
Yes.
No shade on Aquarians.
No.
What was the shadow side of Aquarius to
paranoid, overthink,
to become paranoid? Is that an Aquarian trait? I don't know that it is, so I'm not sure.
I don't think that it is. I'm thinking like I've definitely played these games and I've been paranoid, but I also know not to say anything. You know what I mean? Like, I also like even if you are paranoid and you think it's me, what did her saying like, I know it's me, like, how did that help her like get out of that situation, knowing that it's her? If you know it's you, then make sure that it's not you. And so even if that were true, she didn't really use that information well. Okay, I thought that was her birthday. I was like, maybe it's a February Aquarius thing, because I'm a January.
No, but
Aquarius.
Here's what I will say is that it's very likely that her Mercury was Pisces, as an Aquarian. And the shadow side of a Pisces is paranoia delusion. And we do see that in players who have Pisces energy. So that's possible. That's what took her down. But yeah, she took herself down, because we've seen paranoia in these games before. Like you said, you've had moments of it, but it's how you handle it, right? And she handled it.
I was just shocked.
The worst way you could.
Especially since, like, from what we could see, she was in with the group. They were telling her the truth. Yes. And you know, maybe if she had just talked to James, who I think was her number one ally, it seemed like, and just be like, hey, I'm feeling really, really paranoid. I don't want to say this to the group because I don't want them to think that I don't trust them. But like, can I just get some reassurance here, please? Yeah. As like my ally, you know?
Right. Especially since James did take that opportunity to be like, hi, calm down. Okay? Yeah, we're good. Right. And then you'd be like, okay, James, just between us, this is how I'm feeling, but I hear you. Okay. Right. That would have been a better way.
Now, also, though, this people that are kind of pulling the strings over there aren't really compatible necessarily with Aquarius. So that could also be why she's not reading the signs appropriately. So So we have Cassidy. She's Capricorn, I believe. Carla is a Pisces. I don't remember what James is right now. James, I think he's a Virgo. Maybe I'm making that up. I'm not sure. But I don't know if he's a fire or an air sign, which she would have had. Oh yeah. See, so they are getting how to vibe with each other a little more easily. And she's all heady and probably wants to talk about things and probably wants to like really speak out the plan. And they're just like, just chill, we're good. And she's probably like, that's not how I would feel chill and good. So I think that also could be playing into why she was paranoid, is that they weren't really speaking the same language as her, you know?
Well, it happens. Lindsay, thanks for showing up. Thanks for playing hard. And thanks
get higher than a 3?
Oh yeah, let's see what I don't think so. What'd she get last week? Actually, y'all all gave her a 3. I gave her a 2. So she averaged out at a 3. 3 dice.
Okay.
And
we didn't see enough of her.
We were even more generous.
We gave her a 4?
The audience gave her a 4. You still gave her a 3. I still gave her a 2. I clearly didn't have confidence in her. Ew, well, okay, here we go. Let's get started with who is still in the game. And you know what, guys? Guess who showed up this episode? Cassidy. We finally get to talk about Cassidy. She's in the edit. Chantele, do you want to start?
Sure. I'm happy to see her emergence here, especially because we're seeing that Gio's taking control and he wants her out of this game, and she didn't let that happen. It didn't seem that she was ever worried that she was going to be the target. It didn't seem like Carla was going to let that happen, and so I love to see that she was valuable to Carla, because it seems like Carla has a really good handle on the tribe, and then the people that Carla is also working with wants to keep Cassidy in the game. So I think for the fact that she showed up, she has a little bit of sass with Jeff when talking about the other tribe helping their other opponents in the immunity challenge, and she had a little bit to say about that. I think that she's got some sass, so I'm liking to see a little bit more of her. It makes me feel as though this was like her first kind of test, and then she's probably going to fade into the background again, and then I can see her emerging once we get to the merge. So I have higher hopes for Cassidy right now. So I'm going up a little bit. I'm going to give her a 4.
Ooh, we had a lot of 3s here in the chat, but Chantele is giving her 4 dice. Now, I forgot to, well, I don't even have 4 dice here. One of my dice disappeared. Okay, well, let me find that real quick. But I do want to say, so many people are confused by our rating system, so I just meant to say this at the top. It's like giving a restaurant 4 stars or an Amazon product 1 star, but we are nerds here, so it is dice. And we can go up to 5 because I like the number 5, and I like to be able to have a 3 in the middle. So 1 die means you ain't playing this game very well. 5 dice means you got something going on. That is how we rate. And Chantele's giving Cassidy.
And 4. For me, I'm rating pretty much week to week. Like I'm not saying that they have a 5-star game if I give them a 5, and like everything that they've done up until this point has been amazing. Yes, I'm taking some of these things into consideration, but it's usually what I see each week that really colors my dice. So this maybe seem high, but for this episode, I think that she was a standout.
Yes, exactly. We definitely change from week to week. If you get 4 or 5 dice, it doesn't mean you're winning the game. It just means you had a good week. Right. Exactly. All right. 4 dice for Cassidy. I too was excited that she showed up. I felt it's clear that she has good relationships because she was presented to us as a target. And then she was like, I will actually have input on the target. And so she's got good relationships. She was on the right side of the vote. She was looped in to the vote, and she obviously saved herself. But 3 dice. I give her 3 dice.
Okay.
I'm, she was a target, so I think that's why I sort of leaned towards 3 instead of 4. And same thing with the audience. They gave her 3. So that does average her out to 3 dice for Cassidy. But you know what, Cassidy? Welcome to the show.
Thank you for showing up.
Yeah, and I really let me put everyone else's up here too. I really did enjoy her vibe, which I, preseason thought I might, but then we didn't see her.
I felt like she was maybe young, but I thought that she's like, I want to lay in the back, but I want to be pulling the strings from behind the scenes. And I'm like, I like that.
Yeah.
It's been a little bit too behind the scenes so far, but I think that this was her, ta-da, I'm here. Yeah. I'm here. And so I don't necessarily want them to go back to tribal, but I don't feel like she's going to go home if that's the case.
And she's a Capricorn, by the way. And I love to watch a Capricorn in these games because you just never know how it's going to go.
Mm-hmm. Then they can be badasses for sure.
That's right. Next up is Cody. You guys, Cody is here, my Sagittarius. He's still living, and he has gotten a 5 from me in the past, 5 dice. But last week I had to bump him down to 4 dice, just because he didn't do anything, extra amazing. But this week he's back to 5 dice. Oh. All right. Because he actually was, sorry, that's on your face. So I'm taking that off.
It's okay. I like this.
I feel like he was, a large part of them winning. They won both reward and immunity, which we were not sure Vesey could ever do that. And he was a big, big part of that. So I give him half a dice for that. And the other half is the way that he handled Coco. He went on his little negotiation boat tour over to another tribe. And I was thoroughly entertained by his negotiations. And because of them, he left with more than what, he should have. He should have walked in there and said, I'll take your fishing gear. Or is that what they decided? Yeah, they decided we'll take the fishing gear. But he was like, no, if I start this whole thing with, I want your machete. And then they were like, oh, they threw in food and all this other stuff on top. And so he left with more. So for that, I'm giving my Sag, Cody, 5 dice.
So if he was trying to sell you an elevator, would you be getting
Apparently.
and give him 5 stars?
Yeah. I'll be like, great. Sure. Whatever you're saying, Cody. I don't know. Maybe in person, I'd be like, no. But
so your points are good. And I didn't really think about the fact that he helped them tremendously win the final challenge, or the immunity challenge. I had originally given him a 4. And so let me see if I can talk myself into keeping the 4 or bumping it to 5. So I definitely thought it was really amazing with the negotiation part, but when he was with his own tribe, they, even though they let him go and do it, he seemed to be developing a little bit of a friction there with like him wanting to do things their way, and Noel kind of being like, no, maybe we shouldn't do this. Like, no, you shouldn't go for the machete. And you know what I mean? There was a little bit of friction back and forth with them not really trusting what he was going to do. And it seemed like they agreed upon he wasn't going to do the machete part. And so when he got over there, my first thing was like, oh my God, they just said, don't try to get the machete. And then, it switched. So, I got fooled a little bit in the edit with like, he used it as a negotiation tactic, but I'm wondering if that might come back to haunt him later on with them being like, he was trying to come and get our machete. And then his tribe being like, we told him not to go and do that. And so for that, I've decided that I can't give him 5 stars. I have to stick with the 4 just because it may have mucked things up a little bit.
Yeah.
Later.
And I don't know. We only got the soundbite from Dwight, but Dwight was like, oh gosh, we're sending Cody. I don't know if anyone else felt that way or if it's just Dwight, but like, so obviously he hasn't snowed everybody, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Right. Okay. Chantel's giving him 4 dice, and the audience also gave him 4 dice. So he averages out to 4 dice, guys. That I'm okay with that. I approve this message. Okay, speaking of Dwight, here he is. Chantele, start us out.
Oh man, some of these people, it's hard to rank them when they're not like the stars of the episode or like the flops of the episodes. When they're just kind of like contributing, but like and just there, it's a little bit challenging. So I'm really liking Dwight. I was in the preseason thinking that he's just this 18-year-old kid that or 19 that
is he that young?
I think he's maybe I think he's that
Sammy's the 19-year-old.
Oh, well, he's definitely quite young. Maybe he's 21, but I remember thinking he was super young.
Oh, he's born in 2000. So
he's a Virgo, I think.
20. So. Yeah, he's a Virgo. He's 22. What year are we in?
Yes.
22.
Just turned 22. So yeah, he was 21 when he filmed this. So I was just thinking that he's probably, I don't know, just a little bit young. And so I really wasn't expecting him to play as well as he is. I think that, I said last week about the fact that he didn't really hold Jesse to anything that happened in the past. He seemed like he's flexible. He seems like he's really good at making strong relationships with people. So I'm liking him, but I don't know if he has any agency in the game. 22. I thought they gave him a 2. I was like, oh, that's so low. I'm just going a little bit higher.
Is that Isaiah? Hi, if it is, or hi to you, whoever you are, but hi.
I think it is Isaiah. So I think for Dwight being part of the winning tribe, not being that visible, he's kind of middle of the road for me still. So I think I'm gonna have to keep him with a 3. I think he got a 3 last week.
3 dice for Dwight.
But like a high 3, though, I would say.
A high 3, okay.
He has a chance for improvement. I love the fact that he was part of a winning tribe. I think he had to place one of the sandbags on the disc. I think he got the winning one. So I like that, that he's being shown to be a contributing, part of the tribe. And so I think he has a chance to do even better. So solid 3. I could see him going up, though.
Yeah. So I also gave him a 3. I agree. Like there wasn't much change with him. Let me throw it up. 3 dice. Not much in the edit for him, but he was on the winning tribe. So yeah, it's kind of, yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'm not sure where Dwight is going to shake out, but I feel that middle of the road right now. I feel like, the audience also gave him 3. So we are 3 dice across the board, guys. Way to go. Way to go, everybody. Who's next? Oh, good old Ellie. Good old Ellie.
I love Ellie. She's an Aries.
Oh yeah, is she ever? She is hilarious, and I don't think she's in a great place, great position. We talked about that last week. It doesn't look like she's going to win this standoff between her and Gabler, but boy, I am on the edge of my seat every single episode, just waiting.
I don't want them to go to tribal because I don't want that shot to be disrupted, but I do want to see what would happen. You know what I mean? It's like,
oh no, I am every week rooting for them to go to tribal. I cannot wait to see how Ellie versus Gabler is going to go down. It's the highlight of the season as far as I'm sure.
I don't think that I want either of them to go, though. I think that's what that's the problem. I'm surprised that I'm saying I don't want Gabler to go, but like he's so like messy unintentionally. It's very, very funny.
Yeah, I mean he's protected by an idol, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So it might not be him. I'm giving her 2 dice. I gave her 2 last week, and she just didn't do anything new this week to change that. So it's not like she did something horrible, but I'm just sticking with the 2 that I gave her last week. Obviously her and Gabler are still rubbing each other the wrong way, but we don't know until we see it. So that's my 2.
Ellie, I think, is one of the people that was really strong. Like, people were rooting for her preseason, like thinking that she was going to win the game for sure. And it's very interesting that she's kind of fallen in the rankings so quickly. I don't know. I think she thinks she's in a better position in the tribe than she actually is, for the way that she's speaking to Gabler about the whole fire situation and kind of storming off. I do think it was to her benefit how she was kind of creating a common enemy of Gabler with Sammy, with the whole palm frond situation, being like, yeah, it was Gabler, and so sometimes you kind of can group people together with a common enemy. And so I wouldn't be surprised if that action of Gabler might sway Sammy to be able to kind of want to work with Ellie. So that's still in the future. It didn't happen on this episode. So for that reason, I'm solid 2ing it as well. She gets a 2 from me.
Oh, she gets a 2.
Solid 2.
Well, the audience also gave her a 2, y'all. The audience said 2. So she is across the board 2. 2 dice for Ellie. I agree. I'm here for the drama, but I'm here to see how it falls apart as well. I mean, I love that the edit is really basically setting her up to come crashing down.
Unless she figures it out and is triumphant. But no matter what, Gabler has an idol, so he's not going home next one. So scary.
Speaking of Gabler, this is you, Chantele Gabler.
So, because he has an idol, he is going to be bumped up 1 position, because we know that he's not going to be going home at the next tribal council that he's at. But his social part of this game is lacking big time. Now, I understand him thinking he's doing a nice gesture by laying a palm frond on some sleeping people for, I'm assuming, warmth, or maybe as a weighted blanket type situation. But when people are sleeping, anything that happens is probably going to disrupt their sleep. And when you're out in Survivor and sometimes it's difficult to fall asleep, I would just maybe wait and see if that's something that they wanted. And if I was putting a palm frond on them, maybe if I had woven it and made it into like a nice like lattice kind of basket weave type thing,
an actual blanket,
instead of just being like, let's put a branch on somebody. Like, it's just intentions decent, but execution is so bad. So I want to give Gabler a 2, but he is safe, so he gets a 3 from me.
Oh, I thought you were about to go down.
No. He gets a 3 from me.
He gets 3 dice.
Yeah.
Because he's protected by his idol, is what you're saying?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think I could give him a 2, like a 1/2. I think that he's still in a better position, with seemingly having Owen and Sammy kind of giving him information, but that might have been disrupted with what happened with the palm frond. So not sure yet how things are going to shake out from that. But I mean, there's no ants on the palm frond, so I guess that is something as well,
right?
But yeah,
I do think it's a fun. He's a Virgo, she's an Aries. That is a fun dynamic that does not go well for them. Just for those of us who get to watch. That's all. Yeah, he's all about the details. He figured it out. It's a blanket. He took the ants off of it. He thought that was important. Like, this is true Virgo. He being of service by giving them the blanket and checking the details of the ant, like such Virgo behavior. I loved it. It was hilarious. So he was at a 3 for me, and I just did the opposite, I guess, of what you're doing. And he lost a dice because of his antics, which I understand from his perspective. He thinks he's being helpful, but he has annoyed everyone to the point that you could hear it in Sammy's voice. And Sammy is trying to work with him for numbers. And when you can hear it in Sammy's voice, then he has gone too far. And we also heard it in the the immunity challenge, I think it was, where was it Owen said, like, fine, tell me, professor. Like, he's rubbing everyone the wrong way. And to the point, Ellie was like, let's not be sassy. And I was like, well, if Ellie's telling people not to be sassy, oh boy, right? So for those reasons, I went down to 2 dice for him. And then the audience actually gave him 2 as well. So we outrank you.
That's okay. I mean, I only wanted to give him a 2, right? I felt like I need to give him some idol props. So I'm fine with the 2. I'm fine with the 2.
But he does have that idol, so he ain't going anywhere yet.
Nope. No.
Unless they can outsmart him, but it doesn't
it's impossible. It's almost
doesn't
impossible.
Seem like it.
Unless maybe they threaten an ally or something, but I don't see them doing that. I think always wonder what Danny would be like. Janine gets the vote or something instead, like that. I could only see something like that happening if Ellie tries to save herself. But yeah.
Right. Okay. Up next is Gio. Gio. Let's see. What did I? Oh, Gio. Gio. Gosh. How my opinion of Gio has changed. I really thought he was building some good relationships. But this episode showed us that he instructed others on how to vote. It was clear in his head what the easy vote was, and he told people how to vote. And not only was he not a part of the vote at all, like he was not looped in, he was almost the target.
I do think that Lindsay said that Gio knew. I feel like she said in one of her in her exit presses. Maybe I'm making that up. Sorry. But
well, we see Carla loop back to James and Ryan, right? And Cassidy. And we don't see anyone fill Gio in. And then I went back and watched it a second time, and I watched Gio's face the whole time. And he looked legit surprised of the way it went down. And he voted for Cassidy. He thought, or his vote still went to Cassidy.
I misunderstood her. I think it was on RHAP. Yeah, I think she was talking to Rob. And I could have sworn she said, but she could have just been actually completely off with what her understanding what went down. But if I'm not mistaken, she said something like, yeah, he knew what was going on down. He was looped in, but he wasn't going to change his vote. He didn't want to vote her out. He wanted to keep her in the game. And so he voted out Cassidy because that's how he wanted to go. But she seemed to believe, if I'm not mistaken, that he knew what was going on.
Well, if he did know what's going on, and chose to be outside of the vote, I'm not really sure why.
Not good either. Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't really help anything. And this is my very first 1 dice, but Gio's getting 1 from me. I don't feel like this is a good showing for him, unfortunately.
Man, Sarah, you're Am I the Paula this episode?
Yeah, go for it.
Not that I'm giving him a super high mark, but he didn't go home when he was the target. And yes, it seemed like he might not have been fully looped into what was going on, and what he wanted to happen didn't happen. I really didn't enjoy the fact that he was just like going around telling people, and then we seeing him in his confessional being like, I'm running this tribe. I'm like, okay, you're not running this tribe at all. It's kind of like when people like, oh, this game is so easy, and then they're voted out. So I do feel like he could easily be the next person out. But he didn't go, and he was able to, he stayed in the game. And Lindsay being paranoid was worse than him staying, like him going out. And so for the fact that he was able to stay over her, because I was like, if my ally was super paranoid, like whatever, like, can you just be quiet? You're staying in the game. Like you'll see. And just like just write it off. I wouldn't necessarily be that annoyed by it. Like I would just follow through with what the plan was. But her annoyance was more than wanting to get Gio out. And Gio seemed to be annoying a lot more people. So the fact that he stayed, I'm giving him a 2. That's 2. Just a 2. Just a 2.
That's fair. 2. is fair. The audience actually gave him a 2 as well. So he gets a high 1. So he rounds up to 2 dice for Gio. Definitely not the place we thought he was going to be in. We all thought he was sitting a little better, but I hope that he was looped in and is a bit more understanding of his position on the tribe, and see if he can figure it out, is what I'm saying.
Worried about with this particular, well, all the tribes, because we've talked about it, or you've talked about it definitely on when you did your recap with David, about the fact that it's been 4 women going back to back to back. Like, I do not understand why they hadn't maybe had that conversation. Like, I know we don't want to have gender wars and, like, you know, you try to pretend like you're doing what's best for the tribe or whatever. But, like, if I saw 3 other women go out in the first 3 tribal councils, I would not be allowing a woman to be leaving my tribe, because who knows what could happen? What if we shake it up and we separate it to 2 tribes tomorrow, and, like, it's 2 women and 6 men or whatever, how many people are left? Like, that's not great. And so I wish that they were thinking a little more in a line with that, because it's looking less and less likely for there to be a woman winner.
Well, there's not always a woman winner. Like, I think we're gonna have an all male final
5. Yeah, probably final
5 for sure. I was thinking like entire jury.
Entire jury. Don't make me sick. That's no way. I mean, I love men. I'm just like saying, like, I need the dynamic of both sexes in there for it to be completely enjoyable.
Yeah, I mean, no one likes to have just all women go out, or, you know, even all men. If it was all men going out, I'd be like, what? But I feel like every single vote out has been fairly understandable, except for the first one. The very first one doesn't make any sense, but
well, and it's
I've
frustrating
understood it since,
because, like, the reason why they, like, keep the tribe strong is because they do, like, let's carry a heavy boulder or a 400-pound snake, and most women are not going to be able to pound per pound keep up with like a male counterpart. So it's frustrating that they are perceived to be weaker because we're doing these physical challenges that require lifting heavy things. It's frustrating because they're still can be really great allies.
James. Oh, James.
Is it me?
Yes.
Okay. James. I like the fact that James is in the know.
Yeah.
Like, he is able to, he's like, let me go talk to Lindsay. It seems like Carla really appreciates his input and opinion. Even though he wanted to be working with Lindsay, he was willing to drop her because that wasn't the way that the vote was going. I think that it would have been better for him to keep Lindsay in the game. And so if he had managed to keep Lindsay in the game and got out their original target, I think that he would be, in my opinion, in a better position. So for that reason, I'm giving him a 4. But I thought that this was a strong episode for him. I like that he seems to not be threatened anybody's eyes, and everybody seems to want to work with him. So I give him a 4.
Yeah, I agree. I also gave him a 4 because it seemed like he and Carla, per this edit, it was he and Carla who decided who the target was going to be, right? And he was the one who stepped off to try to work with Lindsay and try to calm her down and get her back on track. So he upped 2 dice for me. Because before I was not sure about him. But so he gets 2 extra dice from me, up into a 4. I am not giving him a 5 because I agree with you that, like, it would have been better for him to keep Lindsay. He tried it. And I think my perception is Carla sort of outvoted him. And so that's the dynamic I'm reading there. So that's why I gave him a 4.
Agreed.
The audience also gave him a 4, so he is 4 dice.
Fours across the board.
4, 4, and 4. Got lots of 4s here.
But I'm happy to see that he's playing. Whoa.
What?
Dolores, so low, so low.
Oh, you're talking about something else. Okay, sorry. He's not giving it to
I'm happy to I mean, I guess we were always saying we don't know what's going on in this tribe. We can't know the dynamics because they haven't gone to tribal. So now they've gone to tribal. We're seeing people emerging a little more as players. We're seeing how the tribe dynamics is shaking out. And it seems he's on the better side of things. It doesn't seem like it seems like him and Carla are like the king and queens over there and they're deciding what's going to happen. So, and queens rule. So she's getting her way.
Okay, Janine. I am keeping her. Nothing new happened with her this week. We didn't really see anything happen. You know, she was her tribe wasn't much in the edit, but she definitely wasn't. I feel like she's in a decent position because she is shielded by the whole Ellie Gabler thing. I know that you have a different opinion on that, but we talked about that last week. But I think she's protected by it. So what do I give her? Oh, I gave her 3 dice.
I also gave her 3 dice.
Oh, okay.
I did, but I want to give her, like, knowing that you gave her 3 dice, I want to give her 2.
Yeah, I thought you would.
Well, I mean, what I wrote down was 3. And it's just because, like, I don't see her doing anything really this episode. Like, I don't remember anything.
She wasn't.
Like, the fire scene, Ellie Gabler, then it was Ellie Gabler, Sammy. Like, I don't know if I saw her or Owen this episode, other than getting help from the other tribe. So I don't know. I didn't see her that much this episode, but like you're saying, I was kind of thinking about it. I'm like, maybe she won't get hit by the vote if they go to tribal. Maybe it will end up being Ellie. So yeah, she gets a 3, but I didn't get to see really what was going on with her. But
yeah,
I do think that she's in an okay position just because she has Ellie that she could push in front of her.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's possible she gets caught up in that. Let's see. What did the audience give her? Oh, audience 2. Also gave, it averaged out to a 3. It's really a high 2. So she is going to get 3 dice from all of us.
But like, what's been going on though with her? I want to know more. I want to know what's happening. And I wonder if it's going to be a similar situation to like Lindsay. We're like, what's happening? What's happening? And you'll find it at tribal because she's going home. You know, like, I don't know if it's the same kind of thing.
I really do want that tribe to go to tribal because I just want to know. There's things we need to figure out. All right, Jessie, back to you. Jessie, my other Sagittarius.
I mean, obviously I love a Sag. I do love the tribe's dynamic this episode. Like it's nice seeing people that were on the losing side of things getting some wins this episode. It's just seeing them happy. I love seeing the camaraderie with Dwight, like giving everybody fist bumps after they're doing like little parts of each of the challenges. So I definitely really liked the camaraderie that's kind of building within this tribe now that they are winning. They won 2 in a row. They're getting some nourishments. And, you know, I was questioning before whether or not it was best for them to keep NECA because like maybe further down the road, it might've been more beneficial to have an ally as opposed to be winning. But I think that winning actually was more beneficial for them because it seemed to really solidify them as a group. And so I like that. So I was starting off as a 3, but then I gave Janine a 3, and I think that he's in a better position than Janine. So I'm going to bump him up to a 4 from what I originally thought.
Okay.
I do think that him and Cody are still kind of in control on that side.
Yeah.
Cody, we also I think I gave a 4 too. And
yeah, you did.
Cody's in a bit of a better position, so I'd say he's in like a 5-4, and Jesse's in a low 4. But I do think that I don't think that he's in danger of going home if they go to tribal, no matter what. I think it would be Dwight first. She has that extra vote, so he might get caught in the crossfires. But 4 from me.
4. Yeah, I agree. 4 for me as well. You know, we didn't see anything in this edit really, so I don't I don't think that anything really has changed, but they won reward and immunity. So, you know, just by being on a winning tribe, you should get extra dice because you did something right. So, yeah, he's we didn't see any power plays from him. There was, what was it that he was like? Well, I guess we just got the sound bite about the yeah, I would love to go for the machete, but you know, we got to be you know, live on a cul-de-sac now or whatever he was saying. Like, let's not be so aggressive or so whatever those words are. So I guess we got that a little bit from him to sound like he was part of that discussion and he agreed with what they were all saying, like take the fishing kit. So yeah, I don't know. 4. We like him. Audience also gave him a 4, so he's 4 dice.
4 dice.
Y'all, 4 dice.
4 dice.
For Jesse. Okay, Justine's not on the show anymore. Here we go. Carla.
C'est moi?
Carla. I think it's actually me. Okay, Carla. Well, Carla has been the star of the show for all of the season, since episode 1. I think at least since episode 2. Yeah. She is queen. You are correct. She's narrating things. She completely controlled the vote this episode. I think that she and her group decided that it was going to be Gio at first because she wants Gio out. And then when she decided Lindsay was too much of an issue, that's when it changed to Lindsay, even though James was like, no, not yet. Right. So I think Carla very much controlled this vote. And I think it was so fun to see that she could call out Cody's BS, right? Cody hornswoggled that tribe. And then he walked out and she was like, y'all, y'all just gave him way too much. He totally played us. And so I love her for that. So like everyone in the chat is saying, she gets 5 dice.
And I cannot stand in the way of the chat with their queen, Carla. I am giving them her a 5 as well. She's running that tribe. She has an idol that nobody knows anything about.
Right.
And I love the fact that she got what she wanted. I don't know if it was the best decision for her. I'm not sure yet, obviously. But she got her agenda to be what happened in the tribal. And I feel like she has strong allies in James, it seems. Cassidy very much trusts her.
Yep.
And I'm not sure where she stands with Ryan or Gio, but I don't even think it would matter because she has like 3, like she has her numbers. So I think she's in a really good position. I 100% think she's going to make the merge. And I don't think she's going to need to play her idol before then. So I think she's in a great position. I think she's going to move pretty far.
Yeah. I mean, to that point that we don't fully know her relationship with Ryan, but we do see her telling Ryan about the vote, and then we see Ryan voting with her. So like I was confused on where Gio fell in that, but Ryan followed whatever Carla said. So they have some sort of relationship there, right?
Exactly.
Well, 5s across the board, guys, because the audience also averaged out to a 5. You gotta move your face. So Carla is killing it with 5 dice. I agree. She is going to be in the show
for a while.
Yeah.
I'm worried it might be like a Shan fizzle. You know what I mean? Like coming out strong pre-merge, and they get to the merge and, you know, not necessarily have the same allies, or the dynamic is not the same. So she just might not have the same amount of power, but she's definitely making the merge, which is, for me, if I was going on Survivor, I'm like, that's my first milestone. She's got to make the merge. if you don't make the merge, you can't win the show. So let me get to the merge. And so I think that she is going to get to the merge. So she's going to have an opportunity to win the game.
Yay! Noel.
My other fearless Aquarius. I think her birthday. I think she's the January Aquarius, if I'm not mistaken. I think she's like the 24th or the 26th. One of the two. Or I could be completely wrong. Maybe I'm misremembering. But
January 24th.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I really like Noel. I feel as though she's emerging as a player. I'm questioning her decision to tell the other tribe how to put together the blocks. What did you think about that? I'm not sure how I feel about that right now.
You know what? As a viewer, I loved it. Oh my gosh. We never see two tribes ganging up on another one. That is so much fun drama. And I understand that as the one tribe that has been decimated
down
versus one tribe who's never even gone to tribal and has everybody. I understand that you want that tribe to start to chip away and lose some people. But yeah, I was shocked. I mean, as a player, I don't think I would have done it. I especially wouldn't have done it so blatantly. Like if there was a way that I could subtly whisper and help another tribe, that might be a possibility. I was shocked that she was just like loudly yelling and had no care about who heard that.
Now I'm wondering if her doing that would just be completely saying to the yellow tribe, like, hey, if we merge, let's work together. We'll have the numbers. Like, so if that was her intention, is to just to gather those numbers in from early on and help them win and stay out of tribal, like maybe that's to create a bond for the future. So if I look at it that way, it could be good. But if I look at it now, maybe the blue tribe is going to want to get her out because like she helped facilitate their loss there. Maybe they'll hold a grudge. So that's why I'm of two minds. It could have been genius, but it also could be the reason why anybody has a reason to target her. So I want to give her a high mark because she's, got some more wins under her belt, but I think that wasn't a well thought out play. Yeah. And so like you, if she was just like, hey, move like like at least if it was like a whisper, like they might not be so blatantly wanting to go and target her potentially in the future. So she's gonna get a 3 for me. 3. Could move up, but that was just a risky move, I think.
Yeah, I hear you on that. But I'm not sure. So I'm not adding or taking away dice on that move because I'm not sure. I think you definitely made yourself a target from 6 people. Well, now 5. But you might have just gained 5 allies. Exactly. To me, that evens itself out. What I do like from her this episode is obviously she's on the winning tribe of both reward and immunity. And she also handled the trade of that reward. Like, I feel like that goes on her because she was like, can we trade? Like, I'm not eating raw fish. And I was like, wait, what is Noel doing? And then I think that did turn out to be the right decision. She did make sure that her tribe got a reward that makes sense for them. And she also was very vocal, maybe too vocal, but she was very vocal on like, we need the fishing kit. Let's think about, instead of sabotaging, let's think about setting ourselves up. So I felt like she was very instrumental in some positive things. And so for those reasons, I give her 4 dice.
Respectable.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm into it for sure.
Guess what? Audience also gave her a 4.
Okay.
It's a high 3, but it rounds up to a 4.
I'm happy with that.
So she is going to get 4 dice, y'all. Look at that.
I like Noel.
Noel moving up in the world. She did not get a lot of dice in the beginning, y'all. No. Okay, next is Mr. Owen. I think this is on me. So, Owen, we didn't really see much this episode, so I don't have a lot to say, and therefore, I'm I'm keeping him at 3 dice, which is what I had given him before. I think that he's safely in the middle of his tribe. He's not a target. He's shielded by this Ellie Gabler war, and he can choose whichever side to go to. So I think he's in a good position, but we're not, seeing too much other than that.
Yeah, I have to agree. And now it seems like next week he's gonna find like the beware advantage or something like that. And so maybe
he wins the idol. Finds the idol.
He's going to it's okay. Shake things up then, but as of right now, he's not shaking much up. I'm not even seeing the lovable curmudgeon. Like I'm not really seeing anything from him. I would have liked to see him maybe get a palm frond from Gabler and see what his reaction was or something. I would a little bit more from him. I agree with you though. He's not going to be out next, most likely. He is protected by that whole bag gate. So I think Janine might get votes before he would get a vote out.
Yeah.
Sammy indirectly gets a vote. Like I just think he's more safe than most of the people in the tribe. So
yeah,
he's not really doing much this episode. So I can't really give him any higher than a 3. But
yeah,
3 for me.
Yeah. I mean, he did make that sassy comment to Gabler. So again, Gabler, like everyone, he was like, you have because Gabler was like, no, not like that on one of the puzzles. And he was like, well, do you have an answer, Professor?
Right.
So that was the only thing we really heard from him this time. But you said, okay, so 3, and the audience also said 3. So Mr. Owen, our curmudgeon, gets 3 dice.
3.
Yep. We're going to have to see more, Owen. We're going to have to see.
Can we please see more? Because I think I have you as like my winner pick on multiple drafts. And so
You did. He was your number 1 pick.
He's definitely a different person than I thought he was going to be. But you know what, though? He still might win. So,
sure. I mean,
not out of it.
Yeah, not out of it at all. Ryan, to you.
Ryan, we were giving a lot of credit to a lot of the wins in the first few episodes. And he didn't seem to help his tribe here. He wasn't able to untangle or untie something with some of the ropes or something. I don't even think the tosses he was that great at. He wasn't good at putting the puzzle pieces together. Yes, he might have been able to carry some of these things, but he couldn't get they couldn't get the square, they couldn't get the triangle, and I guess these were not his fortes. And so I can't give him any of the usual muscle points that I give him like before. I actually started him at a certain number, but now that I'm thinking about it, I'm going to probably bring him down a little bit more because of the fact that he's in lockstep with Geo. And I think that Geo is not great for his game. And whenever you have like a number 1, sometimes people will take you out to weaken them. And so that could be, that's something that happens, you never know. Or maybe Geo thinks that he's unsafe and he plays a shot in the dark, whatever. So I'm worried that he might get taken out because he is buddy with Geo, who seems to be next on the chopping block for that tribe. And the fact that it doesn't seem like they're invincible anymore, I worry for him. And so, yes, he was roped into the plan. Probably last minute, but that's not who he wanted to go, and that's not who he thought he was going to go. And so because he was roped in, he goes up from a 1 to a 2. So he gets a 2 for me.
Oh my Lord. You were starting at a 1?
No, I was starting at a 2, but I'm just being dramatic. I gave him a 2. The whole time. But he was roped into the plan, and so that's why he's getting a 2. He maybe could go lower, but I actually gave him a 2 the whole time.
Yeah. No, I mean, I agree with if everything you say. I was worried about Ryan in this episode. He struggled with that reward. He struggled with that immunity challenge. Like, yes, he can lift puzzle pieces. Obviously, he's a strong man, but I was like, is someone a wellness check, please, on Ryan? I hope he's okay. I hope he's not just going downhill, like from starvation or lack of sleep or whatever. I mean, he's on the winning tribe, so he has the most, of the things he could have.
Yeah.
So yeah, obviously he's going down a little bit. And I agree, like he was looped into the vote, but that's it, right? He didn't have say. We didn't really hear those conversations, so I don't know if he was really against it and tried to fight and like strongly didn't get his way. That's my dog sneezing, if you hear it. Or if he was like ambivalent and didn't care and was like, oh, okay, sure, whatever. But either way, yeah. I, however, didn't think he was a 2. I give him a
That's okay.
3.
That's fine.
Because he's still Ryan. So I just bumped him down 1 dice because I had him at 4. So let's see. Audience gave him 3 as well. So he is going to average out to a high TH.
I'm fine with him being a 3. Absolutely. Okay. I was just kidding about the 1. But yeah, he's I think I could see him being a 3. Yes, he is still Ryan. Yeah. I'm just very worried for him. But I'll have to see how he bounces back. I have to see like if he's going to be upset with that vote out, upset with the fact that he was told how to vote last minute, most likely. I want to see what Gio says to him about you know what I mean? So
yeah,
there's a lot.
I want to see what the relationship actually is with him and Gio. Is it never mind, Gio's a
was it Papaya Boys? What is it?
Yeah, right. You know, they had a great relationship, but maybe it's I don't know. I would like to see more of that relationship. Hi, Diana. All right, our last one here is Sammy. He's not 19, y'all. Come on. 22. Get it together. Sammy, nothing changed in this episode. So his dice in my book didn't change. He's still one of those that I'm waiting to see how it shakes out. Ellie versus Gabler. Which way does Sammy go? Mm-hmm. I feel like he's somewhat shielded by it. Oh, my dogs are growling at each other. So, but I still have him high. So even though nothing has changed, he's at a 4 for me. Because that's where he was last week.
Okay. I understand. I don't think I was that high for Sammy last week. So I can't give him a 4 just for the fact that, yes, I know like a couple episodes ago, he did relay some information and that kind of gave him a little bit of power, kind of maybe allowed him to gain some allies. So I do appreciate that. And I know he was sleeping, but I don't know if it was great just to not just be like, thank you so much. Just be like, not allow the Gabler thing to kind of annoy him, because if it ends up being like, if it starts to balloon and swell and get bigger and bigger, that like it's going to be everybody against Gabler. Like, well, we don't know how Gabler is going to react to these type of things. We see that he kind of does things that are a little bit irrational. Like, what if he uses his idol on somebody and plays a shot in the dark? Like, I just feel like he could react really wildly, and so in these games, you kind of want to predict what your opponents are going to be doing. And so I'm just worried that with him kind of just snapping back, that it might not be.
Wait, do you think he snapped back?
Well, he was just kind of annoyed by the whole thing. And he was kind of saying to Ellie, like, what is he doing? Like, why is he doing that? And I just could see them maybe starting to talk about Gabler. No?
Oh, I see. To Ellie. Because I thought he handled it well towards Gabler. He was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, I don't think Gabler realized he was annoyed, but you're right. To
like
Ellie.
Welling though, like that, the gossip, the negative gossip train about Gabler. And I don't know if Gabler feels like, oh, like Sammy's part of that. Like, oh, I thought I was doing something nice. Like, why didn't Sammy say something to me? Like, if he didn't like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm just not sure how it's going to play out, but he's still in a better position than most on that tribe. So I'm keeping him at middle of the road, which at a 3. So I just don't think he can go to a 4. And I'm worried about this whole Gabler situation. Like, it's just, it's going to blow up.
Or
excited.
Delighted at what is in store for us.
It's going to be a mess for sure. For sure.
Is there any other advantage on that tribe, or is it just Gabler's idol?
Just Gabler's idol. It looks like next week Owen's going to get something.
We think it's that the Beware idol.
Right.
Is and what it looked like.
Who is the third person that's going to do the journey?
Oh, yeah. Let's see. We know Janine.
Jesse, Janine, and James. Is it James?
Yeah. No, Gio. Janine, Jesse, and Gio go on the journey. So depending on how that goes out, maybe Gio ends up being able to save himself somehow.
Or what if Janine gets it and then there's like many advantages on
Yellow? Oh my God. If Janine gets something and then we have the Ellie Gabler war, but Gabler can save himself. Janine can save herself. And then Ellie is a goner for sure.
Yeah, Ellie could be in danger. You're in danger, girl.
You're in danger, girl. You is. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, and it looks like Owen's going to do something like wild with it, or considering it anyways. So I'm like,
Owen finds the Beware idol with the beads. I will be very interested to see how Owen handles this because I don't think he's got what Carla has in him, right?
No.
Our little curmudgeon is going to be like, oh, beads. I like beads. Can I have your bead? I don't know, like how he handles it, right?
I mean, he's a Cancer, so he could be thinking, something like, hey, I really wanted to, I don't know if he has a partner or anything like that, but like, oh, I'd love to bring this for my mom or my girlfriend, wife, whatever. Yeah. And like, maybe he will want to do something sentimental and about family and about mom. So maybe he'll play on the heartstrings. But unfortunately for him, so Janine is a Sag, Ellie is an Aries, Sammy is a Libra, Gabler is a Virgo. So he might be able to get maybe Gabler's really easily, but he might have trouble with the other two if we're just looking at sign dynamics. So it will be interesting to see.
Wait, how many dice did you give Sammy? 3?
Correct.
Okay. Did I say that the audience gave him 4?
No, but I think I was imagining that because I saw in the chat that everyone's like 4 is across the board.
Yeah, it was a high 3 from the audience. So rounds up to a 4 dice, which rounds us all up to 4 dice for Sammy.
I see him as a 4 right now, but
I'm okay with it. It's hard to say. It's hard to say with anyone on that tribe, honestly. I mean, besides Gabler, who's just not in a good spot, but that tribe is tough to really figure out, which is why I want them to go to tribal. But
I know, I'm just scared. Excited.
Wait, who are you scared will go? Who are you worried
I want
about?
Ellie to stick around. I just like I obviously can't have another woman leave. Like just there's like 4 women left in the game. That's just insane to me. Would there be?
Is that true? That could be true.
Wait, Cassidy,
Janine. Ellie, Janine. I'm going in order. Noel, Cassidy, Carla.
Oh, there'd be 5 women and Ellie.
Oh my God, there is only 5. No, I
she's gone.
Ellie.
Oh, so 5. Yeah. And then all the men are still there. It's just like I can't even have that be what goes on.
Well, we just had 2 female winners.
The
men are scared. They're so scared.
That I need to have a female winner. I just don't want to watch a show with only guys on it.
I'm just saying, I wonder if that is subconsciously in them of like.
Yeah. Oh, I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, we live with it. Women see men win all the time. So I don't know that subconsciously hits us, or maybe it does. And that's why a lot of women do go on these shows and go, I want to see a woman win. Maybe because of that. But I wonder if just like in the back of their minds are like, women have been winning. We got to get the women out. And they don't realize they're doing that. I don't know.
Scared of the woman subconsciously. I totally would see that as not necessarily that they are acting on it consciously, but
right.
In their subconscious, I think that's lingering for sure.
Hi, Mom. I don't feel like the men are ganging up on the women. I feel like Carla instrumented Lindsay going. I just feel like each of these vote outs have made sense to me on, an individual basis. But as a whole, we'd love a little balance. We'd love a little,
So I see TJ here in the chat saying that I miss the tribe swaps. I think I miss like having just like 2 tribes.
Yes.
Like the 6-person 3 tribe thing. Okay, it was fine for 41, 42, even 43, but I don't like people's votes being so precious that they just like they're being taken away, and then it just, I don't know. The dynamic, it's too small for me to see like gameplay and people wanting to take chances and doing things. It's like I think plays a little bit more scared because they need their vote, so I wouldn't mind going back to the true tribe format. Do we know why they did that?
No. And this whole drop the 4, keep the 1. Like ever since we started 41, they've had this, new vibe. So yeah, maybe it's because of COVID. Maybe it's because of the less days. I don't know. But yeah, who was it? Was it on was it Mike Bloom? Maybe somebody said the 3 tribe setup really helps these alpha males like the Ryans and the Jonathans from last, because you have a smaller group, you can just win out and like you're definitely making it to the merge. So I hadn't thought about it that way, but it does seem to,
especially if you're carrying 400-pound snakes, like in 2 tribes, like you could maybe be able to do that with like, a bunch of women, and you don't necessarily need the man to be able to carry this.
Right.
But in such a small tribe,
you do.
Obviously you're going to be like, well, we definitely need to keep our strength here because as soon as we lose one person, we're so much weaker.
Yeah. So I get a little gray with the keep my tribe strong. Like I don't feel like I'm voting out the weakest player, definitely, but I'm definitely not voting out Ryan, right? Ryan does not go. Last year, I was not voting out Jonathan. You just don't do it because you need that person. Everyone else, it's in the middle of the road. You can kind of figure it out. But yeah, no, I agree. Yeah.
So I don't know. I think
2 tribes, guys.
Please
2 tribes.
give me 2 tribes, or like why can't we have a swap? Like I feel like Jeff has been talking about like recognizing the popularity in other countries like Australia and how they do shake it up. Like, they swap back and forth a couple of times, and
Australia nails it. Australia really has got Survivor dialed in for sure.
I love the 2 tribes. I realize I miss it so much.
Yeah.
Because like I don't even enjoy not seeing a full tribe because they're winning. Like I want to see these dynamics of everybody intermixing, and also having a chance to get numbers on your side. When you only have 5 other people to work with, like it's hard to switch things up if you're on the bottom, right? Like, because people are just like, no, we're just going to stick with these numbers. Like, it's just a little bit difficult to pull things a different way. So,
yeah, I definitely enjoy swapping it around, because if I ever hear someone say this strong, like Baka strong until the end, I will scream and throw something at my television. Like, I don't want people just loyal to the first group that they sat down with. Mix it up. Make them make other relationships, which we've kind of seen with the journeys is a good way to make new relationships. And so there is a bit of a blending, but I'll take more.
Give me some more, please. Why can't we do a little emergence? A little pre-merge, 2 tribe merge swap. Yeah. I don't know.
Well, those are our ratings, you guys. We have 1-5 Carla, our solid 5 dice for Carla. No one else averaged a 1. We haven't had anyone average a 1 yet.
Not even last week? Good. Or was it a 2?
No, I don't think anyone has. I just gave away my first 1. You gave away a 1 last week.
Oh.
No 1s the first week. Just wait. Just give it time. We'll start throwing out some 1s. Once y'all really sync it up.
I can't wait. I want to give a 1. Another 1.
Thank you, everyone in the chat, for joining us. Mike Bloom says he will be here next week.
Mike Bloom.
So we will get him here and some other fun guests lined up this season. So I am trying to tweet out the link to the form earlier because some people said they forgot. They want to do it freshly after the episode. So I am going to try to be better about, getting it out there earlier, right after the episode, as well as I always put it out on Mondays. So you guys can give us your opinions.
I'm trying to think. Maybe you could also, why don't you put it on your community? You could probably put a link up there. And so your YouTube community too.
Oh, yeah.
You can post it there as well. And so
yes,
I think they'll get a notification, or at least it will pop up on their YouTube feed.
Yeah, you're right. I think I did that last season. Totally forgot. I'm going to make a note of that. Got it.
Boom.
I have to make notes, y'all. If you're joining us later, leave us a comment. Who's getting 5 dice from you? Anybody you're loving?
Carla.
Are you only giving 1 dice to anybody? But, how you feeling about that? And are you excited or are you worried about the Ellie Gabler showdown? How are you feeling about
anxious?
Yay. All right. We will see you guys next week. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.